करार. Oh.
Hi guys, this is Shweta from Radio City Indie. Welcome back to yet another fantastic episode. Today we have 4 fabulous musicians with us who have recreated and redesigned the indie space and how. Please welcome Rishab from Lost Stories, Yashraj, Somanshu and Nikhita Gandhi. Hi guys, how are you? So this conversation is about your song Ruh. How was the process? What was the process? The idea of the song?
Originally the idea started when we were approached to do a remix for one of our favorite artists. Would not like to name them obviously because we started it as a remix and it became an original.
Right.
So I had like a small part which is the drop part, is the part that I sent to Somanshu.
Yeah, and as soon as I heard it, I was like, मेरे को hop on करना है onto this, and I think the next few months we spent on like making the whole production around it, and we sent the first draft to Yashraj, and he was back with the final vocals I think in 15 minutes.
That's
You have to stop this.
He's a Zepto of rappers, 10 minutes delivery.
No change.
As Somanshu said, I think the hopping, मुझे भी hop करना है, वो energy constant थी ये पूरे project में. As soon as we heard this entire thing was मुझे भी hop करना है, and then we sent it, and then उनको भी सबको hop
Skipping rope की तरह मैंने भी hopping किया.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was pretty like an organic process, and
It was a domino effect of hopping
Yeah.
and collaborating.
Yes, 100%.
So is it true that you came up with the rap Yashraj in 15 minutes?
So it's sometimes it
Go.
happens. Yes.
He's being humble. He's being humble.
What did you have?
There are just certain instrumentals that give off certain energy, and you have to, like, if you don't capture it in that moment, then I feel
Sure.
like you waste time. You can't go and revisit it. So like I just sent him one placeholder of a verse I had initially, and then I think the next day or something I sent him another verse because I felt like I should rewrite it. I should do something different on this. So 15 minutes is an exaggeration because I like to sit with
it was
this
10
one.
actually.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just very kind to praise me that way. But it's a.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yes,
I mean, when I went through the YouTube comments, all I could see was praises about your rap, praises about how fantastic Nikhita's voice is, and how actually Lost Stories have done something very different from what they usually do. And so why did you decide for this tribal tone or a little bit of cinematic undertone for this song?
I honestly enjoy tribal influences in whatever tracks I listen to. We particularly use like a damru, which in my family growing up, like I was surrounded by all these instruments, like side percussions and stuff, but never actually found a way to use them in my own music.
Right.
So now, we've been collecting these samples over years and stuff. So now finally, we get into production. As something, it came out as a YouTube comment. Someone said that your productions are like mindful productions. So like that's what I tend to do. Like both of us, we try to be mindful and figure out if we have any influences that we can actually use in the songs. And that's how the whole tribal thing happened. And yeah.
So when did you decide that Nikhita would be a perfect fit for this song?
I don't think I decided. I just like marched into the project.
Yeah. You hopped
I
on.
just hopped on.
Just skipped and hopped on.
No, I mean, I think Somanshu
Somanshu
was
got it,
instrumental in that. Yeah.
And like Yashraj, he delivered the vocals in 2 hours, and we had no changes. So
Yeah.
How long did this song actually take?
1 year.
What?
That's
I mean, I didn't know
almost a
that.
year
Yeah.
because both of us are like nerds when it comes to music production, and then we try to fix each and every like nitty gritty of this whole thing, and then even before sending the song, 2 days before distribution, we're still fixing the song. And abhi bhi thoda changes hai.
अभी release होने का changes है.
उसके बाद Zoom call में.
So yeah, it took almost like in breaks we worked on it. So it took almost a year.
a year and 100 versions.
100 versions later, it's finally out.
So I have to ask this to Yashraj and Nikhita, since you guys have given your vocals in this song. Like, what was your gut immediate reaction when you heard about the title, just the title?
I feel like the title is derived from our writing or from people who have written it. So major shout out to everybody. Murtaza who's written the songs.
Yeah.
And I feel like the title, we didn't have a title in mind. We had the energy of the track in mind, and we just wrote accordingly, and we sang according to that, and then we selected a word from that context that
It was
I
earlier.
thought the name of the song was going to be Istara.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
But then we changed it the last moment
Yeah.
because we thought Ruh was like
Ruh was like
Yeah.
Simple also.
Yeah.
Istara is kind of like
Yeah.
heavy.
yeah.
Nikhita, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your first collaboration with all three of them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
You have been a singer in the mainstream Bollywood industry. You've also had your own releases, and now this is you are collaborating with three hardcore independent musicians. How different it is.
I feel so accepted.
Yeah.
I got the stamp of validation. Because sometimes I feel like I'm not Indian.
Not at all. No. So how different you would say is the two industries from each other? Or what is the liberation point that you find over here with indie artists that you don't in, maybe in other industry?
I mean, there's so much more contribution
Mhm.
when you're I'll speak about this project because there's so many other projects I've worked on where I've been more like I've like composed or done more in the song. And here, essentially, I've been very like I've just sung the song and just been like a very small part of this project because the song was kind of already ready, and but still because. Which kind of feels like a playback journey, but at the same time, because of the fact that we're all independent artists, and one thing I loved was I kept messaging Somanshu saying that, bro, that line, can we change that line? The tuning is wrong. There's something about which is like really bugging me, and I kept like, can you just send me the vocal now and tune it? But just that whole
having that creative control basically.
and just that feeling of trying to perfect everything, and it's in your hands to
And
strive
not
for that
micromanaging
perfection.
anything.
Yeah.
Like you are in control of what you.
And I completely understand if they had like 100 versions, because when I'm doing something from scratch, even I do the same thing. So I think that feeling of chaos and perfection
It's
all at
satisfying.
once. Yeah. So
Satisfying.
it's just so wonderful, and there's just so much more of you in the project when you are doing something independent as opposed to playback.
Nikita, like you said that you accidentally came into singing.
Music.
You did not have a plan to become a musician or a singer. How did that happen?
Like I was studying a lot. I think I've always learned, like I've learned music as a kid. From Calcutta, you have to learn music. It's like being Bengali, it's part of your blood. And then like I learned dance and music and everything, classical forms of both. And then I pursued dentistry because I was a nerd and I just wanted to be a doctor. And then I went to Chennai, and that's where I met Rahman sir.
Wow.
So I started working in his South films. And it was, even then when I was working with him, it felt like, oh, this is a cool experience. Like, it was more like, this is like a really cool thing to to tick off my bucket list, but not necessarily a career path.
Right.
So, and literally that's how I've taken my life throughout. Like, this is cool, okay, let's do this, or this is fun.
It's still a hobby basically. Yeah.
More than hobby, it's like, I don't think about the circumstances and the outcome. It's like, I just want to do it because I want to do it.
You do
And
what
it's
you
not
want.
like I am a singer बनना है, star बनना है, ये करना है. It's like, this is a
Go
cool
with the
situation and I want to be part of it. And that's how everything happened. And I love that that's my journey because it's organic. Like, every song actually, I've never gone up to a composer and been like, listen to my voice, this is my demo. I've never done that. So I think it's amazing when things just sort of happen and you meet people and they cross your path and you make music.
Absolutely.
And that's when you make the best music. Like,
Yeah, because
when
there's
things
no
happen all
intention
around.
behind it. Like, it's just what
Right.
it is.
So like Somanshu said that you have a very different, a unique, husky yet impactful voice. Does it actually stand out or does it actually work in your favor at times?
Honestly, that's a big reason why I never kept these expectations in my head that, to become a singer. Obviously, I knew I could sing well,
Right.
but it was not like, I don't think I ever felt like I belonged to this industry because of being different.
Sure.
So because you're always thinking that you need to fit in, like, oh, there are a lot of like this kind of voice is very popular. So I am not like that. So obviously this is not my world. That was always something that was in my head. So I never pursued music as a career. In fact, I used to think that I'm like born in the wrong country or something. Like I should have, if I was in the US or something, I would fit in. then I think it's my journey that made me realize that the fact that I don't fit in is probably what makes it fun and makes it different and
Right.
real. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. So, Rishab and Somanshu, you guys have been producing music for a very long time now. Can you tell me one myth that always stays with a DJ or a music producer that people often have? कि नहीं ये ऐसा ही है.
That DJs make gang signs when posing for photos.
Did you do that just
Because I was asked to. And then we were just doing this other interview and the guy said that I had this impression that DJs are cool and all that, and my previous track was with the Kavita Sethi.
Right.
And when she entered the studio, obviously I touched her feet. So this guy was surprised. I was not expecting you to
What was he expecting? Yo.
yeah, I mean that's what I don't know. I mean she just kind of demands. I guess they expect DJs to be brash and think they have attitude. Oh hey.
How he said even with I collaborated with a lot of singers and they approached me अरे इसको तो ego होगा. I don't know if he'll collaborate with me and वो सारी चीजें. So I don't know why is that impression, and I'm technically just starting out. So I would want to collaborate with as many people as I can right now. So but I think I don't
Imagine.
You should listen to his voice notes.
Yeah.
They all start almost hey, how are you doing? I'm this is the most
3-second therapy
But I
sessions.
think-
Yeah.
Warm, thank you so much.
I think it's your press photos.
What is the one thing that you absolutely love about this track that you would want the audience to know?
No, I personally, I'll tell you, I love the vocals, I love the rap, and I love the production. So there's nothing more to the
You're
track.
stealing my answer.
You can also answer the same because there's nothing more to the track than this. And it's just an honest production that just came straight from our hearts, and everyone gave their best. So, I mean, yeah.
So this question is for each one of you. Apart from anybody sitting on this couch, who is your favorite indie singer? You cannot name
Indie singer.
singer, artist. It could be anybody, a musician, a rapper, a producer, anyone.
I like Oaf. I think he's a friend of mine also.
Mhm.
So I'll give him some credit on this channel.
I always wanted to work with Lucky Ali, so I don't know, I hope to get to make some music with him. So Lucky Ali.
That would be incredible to see, right?
Yeah,
You and
me
Lucky
too.
Ali.
You don't have anyone?
I'd say shout out to my boys Dropped Out and Manit. These are my brothers, these are the producers I work with, so I feel like I would like to take their names so that more people discover their music and what they've been doing. So yeah, Dropped Out and
Awesome.
Manit.
Baba said.
I love your answer.
Best answer. This is going to be
Best answer.
My
Can I change my answer also? Only Qatar.
This is crazy.
Was that awkward?
No,
I felt like that was no. Actually, Tahir Shah.
No, the Baba second one is going to be the
No, Tahir Shah. Baba
Who
Sehgal.
doesn't love it? He's a OG rapper.
Yes.
The goat. Straight up, that's the dream collaboration. I'm saying this, manifesting it right here. Album pe Baba Sehgal interlude or feature I want at any cost.
Alright, so one common thing that we actually saw in YouTube comments was how people were loving Nikhita's voice and how people were actually appreciating the entire music, and when your rap dropped, people were actually commenting that okay, ye minutes at the rap
Yeah.
when it started. They're actually writing the minute and the second.
That's from my fake account.
You also replied to so many comments.
So sweet. That's actually
Yeah.
very, very sweet.
You can't have so many fake accounts.
You have no idea what he does, what they did in 3 months.
Oh, that's why the song took a year to be made.
To self-promote, yeah.
Very nice.
Indie release.
So coming back to the another question, it's more of like a request from the audience, because today, before we start this interview, we had a lot of people requesting Nikhita and Yashraj to sing a little part of this track.
100% Yashraj.
Should you sing a rap?
How about you rap?
उल्टा करते हैं.
How about, okay, we can start anyway. Either you rap first and then you can join in, or
मेरा एकदम slap poetry हो जाएगा.
हाँ, ठीक है.
Yeah, let her start and then we'll all just.
See gang songs.
I'm so sorry to the actual beatboxers out there that you all had to experience this 3 second
blasphemy.
Yeah, so
Whenever you're ready.
बाकी नहीं कोई एहसास है महफूज जो मेरी आस है परवाह नहीं खुद को मेरी ऐसा मेरा इस्तेमाल
बजेगा जंग का डंका उससे पहले खाली फैली है शांति लगा के लूंगा मैं सांस तब उड़ेगी खास पर आती जबान थी वो रहते हैरान ये कैसा तूफान जो दिखने में लगता है इंसान ही पर आए जब प्यार से ना आए हथियार तो काटूंगा सबको जबान से या के चूके वो निशाने आने जाने वाले मेरे जैसे भूखे नहीं पूरा ये वार्तालाप ये ज्ञान तालाब सा कभी ये सूखे नहीं बोले नहीं बोल तोल के तोल मोल के फंसे नहीं कभी हम झोल वोल में स्टोन कोल्ड रखा पूरे ये जिगर और गानों में आके हम सोल खोल दे
परवाह नहीं खुद को मेरी ऐसा मेरा इस्तेमाल
I feel so useless right now. This is good.
Wow, that was incredible.
That was definitely
One more time.
चाचा जी please
Yeah, we could
अभी मैं perform करके बताओ.
अभी मुंह पे कह रहा है
But nice talent है.
शुक्रिया सर शुक्रिया
He recognized your talent.
Yeah,
You should be very
100%.
Amazing.
He's like अच्छा किया
Awesome, great. It was really fun interacting with you guys. One last thing, any message that you would like to give your fans or your audience to maybe, shower out on Ruh or on this song?
Baba Said rocks.
Michael, if you're
And
hearing
so-
this, just this one's for you. Like Ruh was for you. You are our Ruh.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this has to stop.
we need a Baba cycle at here.
Yeah,
We need a Baba cycle.
So whoever loves Baba Said, please follow us and
yeah. If you're a Baba fan, we're
If you're a Baba
and if you're not also,
Then also.
then also you can follow us.
Stop doing this, Baba.
But please guys, we need the streams, we need more views on
We
the
need your
videos.
clothes.
Yeah, we need the comments that are not from my fake account. So please stream it. It's an independent
We need
release.
actual comments from actual
accounts. Yeah.
So
If you
help us.
stream it, then we can make more music and we can release it.
Definitely.
So